Up WWE Champions Universe. This is Lee from Champions Chat, and we're just not counting anymore. We're in a roster journey back through time, back into an era where I was at 2.4 million, 2.43 million actually roster. And you're saying, hey, if I've been following this series, this ridiculously vain series, this doesn't look much different than the last video, and you're right. But here's a couple things, right? I talked about trivia. I talked about Farmageddon, right? And I talked about how I had gotten some of the characters. Well, on this episode, I actually screenshotted not just the top of my roster, but the whole darn thing. So you get to see like a progression. And man, if nothing else, I don't know about you, like even when I'm watching Iron Sheik, when I'm watching Professor, go back to Gerson, Merrick's, Goldie, Sap Daddy, I mean, any of these guys, Benny Smodges Gaming, like any of these content creators, J-Man, I'm going to leave people, I'm so sorry, DJ and on, you go through their videos and you see older ones and it's just like, wow, do you remember when? That's what this is doing for me and maybe for you, right? But here's the big gets on the top. 2 IOWs that changed the world. IOW Batista. It took me a long time to get him. So at the point that I had him 5-star gold, other people were way past that. Although 6-star still doesn't exist, as you can see, or if it does, it might have actually, because it took me a long time to get a 6-star. So it might actually have existed. I just didn't have one. But IOW Batista, I remember when he came out, and I distinctly remember my in-faction chat, somebody like posting the move set for Batista where it said that it took like, how many move charge does it take? It's like 60 or something like that. It's like 60 or something to use his big move. And then it did 1,000,000 health steal. And I remember somebody in my faction chat legitimately saying, those can't be real numbers. Like that is impossible. This is game breaking if that is real. And yeah, he was real. IOW Batista held on for a long time. One of my few S tiers at the time. Of course, we didn't know they were S tiers, right? But you could see a few in there on that top little ring there. And then IOW Charlotte. Man, the grind for IOW Charlotte was intense. Until Farmageddon, until the portal broke, until we all became Robin Hood and his merry men, right? And so I got her. But look at some of these other finds on here as I scroll to the next page. Captain Rubberbeard. Oh man, modern era striker. When he came out, he had just been released. We're in the 2020 post 2020 era on this right here. He had been released. They couldn't even say his name in previews. It was just modern era striker, right? Got him off the trivia, pretty sure. This was the month for Hurricane. Oh, I love that the Hurricane is in this game. I almost want to YOLO him to 6-star silver just because I loved him so much. But then right down below him, who do we have? We have Big E. I didn't have a good New Day character at all on my roster. They were all fodder, C tier as we would know them now. Farmageddon, baby, the trivia, that portal, it gave me a Big E, and you can see him a little bit lower than that. Right there's Hall of Fame Yokozuna. That was my last get. I thought, should I save these web coins? There's bound to be something else later in the future, but of course, none of us knew. What if they took all of our web coins away? We didn't know. We knew that we were exploiting something. We didn't know what they were going to do about it. And so I went ahead and went all in. 20, 30,000 web coins, the last of my purse, and got Hall of Fame Yoko. And then right below him on this next page, you see 3 gets from the portal, right? All Farmageddon gets, right? LWO Eddie, right? Got him from the Farmageddon. Eric Bischoff, got him from Farmageddon. Peter Maivia, got him from Farmageddon. All in that little stretch right there. Isn't that awesome? And then you see Hall of Fame, Scott Hall. Man, I remember Merrick's used to do these videos. They weren't tier lists. They were like stock watches, right? I loved those. And I remember Hall of Fame Scott Hall was one of the ones they called out as like, man, he is so good. What in the world, right? And then Right over next to him, you've got Hall of Fame Eddie Guerrero. Man, that was a card, right? In its day, wow, it was good. And then right below, you've got Zombie Drew McIntyre. So you can kind of see where I was at with my zombie roster. I'm gonna keep scrolling down, but you can see a few in this one that are big to me. Stevie Ray was the next one. Did not get him off Farmageddon. Had to get him much later. My son pulled him on a $2 pull, and I was so upset. But then right next to him, I finally got Zombie Austin. He was my whale, my white whale for so long. Right now it's Powerhouse Hogan. I still don't have Powerhouse Hogan, but oh my goodness, he was good. And then with the resources, I was able to get JBL. JBL was incredible, and I didn't build him fast enough. He was never, since I had him, he was never relevant. Going on down, I'm pretty sure I got that Hall of Fame Honky Tonk off of that same Farmageddon. And look, there's that trickster that's finally dropped way down on my roster. And 2 over from him, you've got Macho Man, NWO Macho. That was a get. He was hard to acquire. And right up from him, Psycho Sid. My first $100 pull that I ever did, I got 2 new characters from it, and they were way past time. This was Psycho Sid and Striker Kevin Nash, and the 2 of them were they were not good. Let's just say at that point. And it was the first time I did a $100 pull, and it made me question whether I should ever do one again. And I've since done several, and they really haven't been good aside from one other one. So yeah, that's basically it. You've got some other guys here as you kind of look through the roster scroll. I finally got Big Sexy, started building that Shamrock and then abandoned him real quick. Got that Booker, that 4-star gold Booker Showboat. And that was back when DJ was trying to see if he could ever get that 4-star gold. And by the way, DJ, I got it. Yeah, I did. I wasn't making content back then, or I would have been like, DJ, what's up? Look what I got, bro. And, now it's 3 years too late for a brag on that, right? Got Sasha, the Showboat Sasha. She was a roster changer for a hot minute. And other than that, my biggest get on the next page was The Fiend. The Fiend was already starting to be out of meta by quite some time. But I love that gimmick. That was my favorite gimmick of Bray Wyatt's. And so, yeah, that's it. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. You can see I've still got some 3 stars. I'm getting close to my 2 stars. And yeah, there they are. Oh, actually, stop right here. This tells me a good stretch of where this was. I had just gotten Mutant Seth. Look at that. 3-star gold, 3,000 talent. That Mutant Seth has stayed on the top of my roster almost ever since. He's my second row now, but he is way up there. So there's a timestamp for you. Had just gotten Mutant Seth, first ever Mutant month. And then there's the bottom of my roster, some lovely 2 stars and some 3 stars. So this one went a little bit longer, but Farmageddon did too. So had to talk about that. What do you think in the comments section? Do you remember Farmageddon? Do you remember getting your first Chase Superstar? Does this bring about the nostalgia in you? Comment in the comments box, like, share, subscribe, all those things. And I'll send a few more of these your way at some point. Bye.